This is how you know things are getting bad for the MCU. So, at least according to Culture Crave, pretty big account, lots of entertainment news, apparently when Dune and The Marvels come out, Dune is going to get priority for IMAX screens. So they are going to take out The Marvels and give everything to Dune 2. Why is that? Well, probably because, and they don't want to say this, Marvel movies aren't performing very well at the theaters. And they're at least smart enough to separate the fact that Guardians did good and the rest of the phase 4 and 5 garbage is not pulling in customers. This is what he had to say. We are committed to Dune. If it moves release dates, those IMAX screens will just go over to the Marvels, and having a Marvel movie as a backup is not the worst position to be in. So Dune's getting it. The good news for Marvel is they're probably going to delay this movie. Why? Because of the strike. Dune 2 could get delayed as well because of this. I'm hoping Dune doesn't actually want to watch Dune. The Marvels I could give a shit about. Content-wise, I would like it to come out this year because it's going to be fun laughing at this movie flopping. And I guarantee you this movie is going to flop. Nobody cares about these characters. People used to care about Nick Fury until they ruined him. They absolutely ruined him by showing him get scratched in the eye in Captain Marvel. Yeah, instead of having him lose his eye to shrapnel like in the comics, now he lost it to a cat scratch. Wow, that's real cool. And then Secret Invasion, of course, comes out, and everybody hates it. Look at this. This is pretty interesting. The lowest rated MCU projects on Rotten Tomatoes, all post-Endgame. The only one with a decent score is Thor Love and Thunder. And that's not that great. Thor Love and Thunder is awful. I don't know how that's at a 63%. That movie is shit. But look at it. Secret Invasion, 56%. Eternals, 47%. Quantumania, 46%. The MCU died with Tony Stark. He's absolutely right. It did. It 100% did. You know, the good thing about all of that is if you want to end there. Like, I'm done. I don't want to watch any more Marvel movies. I'm just going to leave it here. You can absolutely do that because the end game is a good end game. It's a good place to leave. Like, you could end and stop watching Marvel movies there. That you have a definitive ending. But it's not getting any better. Secret Invasion is one of the most poorly reviewed Marvel Studios projects ever released. Ever released. And you can tell that this is eating at the director because he's now attacking fans. So this is the quote. Secret Invasion director says Marvel fans have too many expectations. How dare you not enjoy my shitty project? How dare you make fun of it? Everybody was making fun of this show, by the way. Everybody was making fun of this show. This show really did kind of unite everybody in saying this is shit, which is funny. Like, everybody was dogging on this show. And why shouldn't they? This show is awful. You don't even have to watch it to tell it's awful because they play clips of it all over. One of the funniest things going around was that clip of Nick Fury kissing that Skrull. I guess that's his wife. Like, talk about bringing a character down. You had already ruined him a little bit. Let's ruin him even more. So that clip was making the rounds. Then you also had the clip of Daenerys, Emilia Clarke, with that weird body dysmorphia arm. Where, like, one's really small. Like, the wrist was really small, and then she had a gigantic bicep. Everybody's making fun of that. Everybody's making fun of the CGI in it. Like, there's no positive traction for this show on social media. Nobody is sitting down and saying, wow, this is cool. This looks cool. Whoa, that's amazing. No, everybody was making fun of it. I have not seen any positive interactions on Secret Invasion on social media at all. And trust me, I'm partially terminally online because I talk about this stuff all the time. I didn't see anything, and I was looking for it. I think I saw one or two people praising it. But when you look at the audience scores for this shit and the reactions, it's not hard to believe because most people didn't like it. And this is coming after She-Hulk. The She-Hulk people went after the fans too. Disney Plus director wants fans to accept lower quality content. The Walt Disney Company has found itself in some hot water with even its most devoted fans recently. Current company backlash includes Bob Iger's out-of-touch comments about the entertainment strikes, creative decisions made on the new live-action adaptation of Snow White, and lackluster reviews of various Disney Plus projects. Yeah, this is all true. I'm not pro anybody in this strike. I say let them fight. But his comments were kind of bad, especially in his position. When you're like a multi-millionaire, you should probably careful what you say. But, you know, I'm not on anybody's side on this. I'm definitely not on the studio's side because they're the ones that hire all these people. And I'm really, other than a couple of things, not on the strikers' sides because all of their content that they've put out for the most part has been shit. Other than a handful of modern projects, there's really but not been very much entertainment that's good. The She-Hulk people demanding more money is the most hilarious thing to me. The one thing I do agree on is the AI stuff a little bit. That stuff is a little tricky. That stuff, you know, I think, yeah, maybe let's get some kind of regulations going there. But as far as, you know, more money, how much are these projects even making? There's an interesting video that Film Threat did where they talked about this, and they want more money, and to do that, they want to see what people are actually, you know, what kind of numbers people are actually giving these shows. And it's like, if a lot of people aren't watching the products, their stock prices will fall. So as you know, we don't get any streaming numbers. No streaming numbers are released. That's all done by third party, and those are guesses, best guesses, really. So we don't actually know because the studios don't release those numbers. And for these people to get more money, they need to know the numbers and how many people are watching these products. And Film Threat has a good theory, and I think they're probably right. If they release those numbers, you're going to find out that a lot of people aren't watching this shit. And that's going to lead to less pay anyway for the people on strike. But the reason the studios don't want to drop those numbers is because they don't want their stocks to drop. And that's exactly what will happen. If they dropped numbers showing that these shows are all disasters, their stock prices would tumble. Marvel's Secret Invasion is the latest Disney Entertainment offering to garner mixed and ultimately disappointed reviews from excited fans. The series director, Ali Salim, basically blamed the negative response on fans' high expectations. Here's what he told Variety. I don't feel bad about mixed reviews. If you had unanimously good reviews, every movie would gross $10 billion trillion, right? No, they wouldn't. There's a lot of stuff that's had good reviews that have flopped. Projects resonate with different people at different times for different reasons, and Marvel has a very devoted and even rabid fan base who have expectations, and when their expectations aren't fulfilled, they move in the other directions. They give it a thumbs down. He then questions, is it our job to fulfill their expectations? Yes. It is your job to fulfill expectations. It's not really that hard to do, to be honest. All you have to do is follow the comic book, but you don't do that. I mean, the comic book, especially for Secret Invasion, it's all laid out for you, but instead you decided to go in this strange direction. You do it every time. And when you deviate from the comic book, it's always a failure. Now, you can deviate a little bit and still be good. The X-Men movies are a great example of this. Those movies don't follow the comics, but they do follow. They do follow them in a sense. They take a lot of the good stuff and they do follow it there, but they did it good. That's really a good example of not following the comics and being good. But they still kind of use them as a roadmap and how the characters are and stuff, slightly. I mean, Wolverine and Sabretooth didn't know each other in the first X-Men movie, but they still gave you a good battle between them. Wolverine and Sabretooth had a great fight in that movie. It's like, okay, well, they don't know each other, but hey, they did still give us this. So, I mean, it worked out. Secret Invasion is an example of them following the comics and they doing it poorly. So, the bare minimum expectation is for it to be good. I'm expecting this to be good, and then it's shit. For many Disney and Marvel fans, the answer is yes. The Walt Disney Company has set a certain standard for the content quality, and that is what customers loyal to the brand spend their hard-earned money on. If you want to make audiences happy, keep them speaking highly of your projects and ultimately giving you more money. Then you don't ask them to lower their standards to make room for your mediocre content. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. That's basically what he's doing. He's asking you to lower your standards. Please lower your standards and enjoy this. No. You're going to see more people walk away from Marvel. They already are. More people are already walking away. It's proven in the numbers and the responses to these projects. More people are going to keep walking away, and that's on them. They thought they could churn out a bunch of bullshit and people would still go see it, and that didn't happen. Now what are they going to do? Everything on their release slate, up to Fantastic Four, is a bunch of shit nobody gives a freak about. Like Agatha Harkness, Echo. Who cares about them? The Marvels. Nobody cares. And then they're going to get to another Avengers movie eventually. Nobody's going to care either because it's basically the D-list Avengers. Yeah, I don't know. They're going to have to reboot all of this. And they should. They should just reboot it all and recast everybody. Especially now that they own the mutants and the Fantastic Four again. You start everything off and you start with the Fantastic Four. That's what you do. But they're not going to do that. I don't even think they can do that because they would have to reboot Spider-Man. And Sony's not going to let that happen. Everybody loves Tom Holland Spider-Man now after that third one. So maybe, use the multiverse and bring all these characters back, I guess. I don't know what you do. I personally would just reboot it. Sony should just pull Spider-Man anyway because they do a better job with him without Marvel now at this point. That Spider-Verse movie showed that. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments below. How do you feel about Marvel? How do you feel about what this director said? Let me know. Also, if you would please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and Locals, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my Locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my Locals.